Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Bayu Kurniawan, and I'm doing my classroom management task presentations. And this is the part one of my presentations. The title is about fostering a positive learning environment. What is tolerance? Tolerance is respecting and embracing difference in culture, beliefs, opinion, and backgrounds. The goal is to create an inclusive classroom free from prejudice and discrimination. The strategies for teaching tolerance is first is model respectful behavior, which is we have to demonstrate openness and fairness in all interactions with students. Second is facilitate open discussions. Organize activities like group discussions or role playing to explore diverse perspectives. The third one is incorporate inclusive curriculum. Include lessons on cultural diversity, history, and global perspectives. Number four is challenge stereotypes. Encourage students to identify and discuss stereotypes to reduce bias. The last one is promotive collaborative activities. Assign group projects that mix students from different backgrounds to foster empathy. First one is about model respectful behavior. Respectful behavior model is a framework designed to promote positive, ethical, and considerate interactions in various settings, such as workplace, schools, communities, and etc. It emphasizes fostering mutual respect, understanding, and collaboration among individuals to create a harmonious and inclusive environment. Facilitate open discussions. This involves organizing activities such as group discussions, forums, or role-playing exercises to encourage participants to share and explore diverse perspectives. These activities create a safe and inclusive space where individuals can express their thoughts, listen to others, and engage in constructive dialogue. By simulating real-life scenarios or encouraging open-ended conversations, participants can better understand different viewpoints, practice empathy, and develop respectful communication skills. This approach fosters collaboration, reduces misunderstandings, and promotes a culture of mutual respect and inclusivity. Incorporate inclusive curriculum. This involves integrating lessons and materials that cover cultural diversity, history, and global perspectives into educational programs. By including content that reflects a wide range of cultures, traditions, and historical narratives, the curriculum promotes understanding and appreciation of differences. It helps students or participants gain a broader worldview, fosters empathy, and encourages respect for diverse identities and experiences. This approach ensures that learning environments are inclusive, equitable, and reflective of the global community. Challenge stereotypes. Encouraging students to actively identify and discuss stereotypes in a safe and guided environment to reduce bias through activities like discussions, reflective exercise, or analyzing media portrayals. Students are prompt to recognize preconceived notions about different groups based on race, gender, culture, or other characteristics. By critically examining these stereotypes, they learn to question assumptions, understand their impact, and develop more open-minded perspectives. This approach fosters critical thinking and promotes inclusivity and helps create a culture of respect by reducing prejudice and bias. Promotive collaborative activities, assigning group projects that intentionally bring together students from diverse backgrounds to work collaboratively by mixing students with different cultural, social, or personal experiences. These activities encourage teamwork, mutual understanding, and empathy. Working together on shared goals helps students appreciate each other's unique perspectives, break down barriers, and build stronger interpersonal connections. This approach fosters a sense of community, reduces prejudice, and promotes a culture of respect and inclusivity through shared experience. Helping students handle anger, frustration, and aggression. The first step is recognize warning signs. Look for change in behavior, such as withdrawal, sudden outbursts, or physical aggression. Teach relaxation techniques. Introduce deep breathing, short mindfulness exercise, or counting techniques to calm emotions. Next is create a safe space. Provide a quiet corner in the classroom for students to decompress. And encourage problem solving. Help students identify triggers and work through solutions collaboratively. And the next is promote positive communications. Teach students to express anger verbally, like I feel upset because of blah blah blah, instead of acting out. And the last one is involve counselors. Refer students to school counselors for deeper emotional challenge. Sorry. Recognize warning signs. Observing and identifying change in a student's behavior that may indicate emotional distress or potential conflict. Examples include withdrawal, like becoming unusually quiet or disengaged, student outbursts, yelling, or emotional reactions, or physical aggression, like hitting something or keep pushing everything. And the last one is recognizing these signs early allows educator or caregivers to intervene promptly and others underlying issues and prevent escalation, fostering a safer and more supportive environment. Next is teach relaxation techniques. This focus on introducing students to methods like deep breathing, short mindfulness exercises, or counting techniques to help them manage and calm their emotions. For example, deep breathing involves slow, controlled breaths to reduce stress, while mindfulness exercises encourage focusing on the present moment, like the exactly right time. Counting techniques, such as counting to 10, help students pause before reacting impulsively. These tools empower students to regulate their emotions effectively, promoting self-control and respectful interactions. Create a safe space. Designing a quiet, comfortable area in the classroom, such as cozy corner or calm area, where students can go to decompress when feeling overwhelmed. This space provides a safe, non-judgmental environment for students to relax, reflect, or regain composure without fear or scrutiny. It supports emotional well-being and helps students return to learning with a clear mindset, contributing to a respectful classroom atmosphere. Encourage problem solving. This approach involves guiding students to identify the triggers of their emotions or conflicts. Examples like frustration from a disagreement and work collaboratively to find solutions. Teachers can facilitate discussions where students explore the root, the cause of issues, and brainstorm the constructive ways to address them, such as compromise or seeking help. This fosters critical thinking, boosts empathy, and encourages respectful resolution of conflicts, strengthening interpersonal relationships. Promote positive communications. Teaching students to express their emotions, particularly anger, in a constructive and verbal way, such as saying, I felt upset because, instead of resorting to disruptive behaviors like shouting or acting out physically, keep yelling, and by modeling and practicing assertive communications, students learn to articulate their feelings respectfully, which reduce misunderstandings and promotes to of a culture of open, empathetic dialogue in the classroom. Involve counselors. This refers to referring students who exhibit deeper emotional or behavioral challenge to school counselors or mental health professionals. Counselors can provide specialized support such as one-on-one sessions or tailored strategies to address complex issues like chronic stress, trauma, or persistent behavioral difficulties. And involving ensures students receive the necessary guidance to manage their emotions effectively, supporting their well-being and maintaining a respectful learning environment. Next is managing disruptive behavior. What is disruptive behavior? Disruptive behavior is an actions that interrupt learning, such as talking out of turn, defiance, or distracting others, can stem from boredom and frustrations or unmet needs. How can we deal with it? The first one is set clear expectations, establish and communicate classroom rules from the start. The second one is use positive reinforcements, acknowledge and reward positive behavior to encourage compliance. Next is redirect attentions. Gently guide students back to tasks with engaging activities or questions. Apply consistent consequences. Use fair, predictable consequences for repeated disruptions. Build relationships. Connect with students to understand their needs and reduce defiance. Collaborate with their families. Work with parents to address persistent behavior issues. The first step, set clear expectations. Establishing and clearly communicating classroom rules and behavioral expectations from the beginning of the school year or the term, rules should be simple, specific, and easy to understand, such as raise your hand before speaking or respect others' personal space. By setting these guidelines early and ensuring students understand them, teachers create a structured environment that promotes consistency, reduce confusion, and encourage respectful behavior. The second step is use positive reinforcement. The strategy focuses on acknowledging and rewarding students for displaying positive behaviors, such as following rules, helping peers, or completing tasks. It's simple. Rewards can include verbal praise, stickers, or small privileges like extra free time. By recognizing and reinforcing good behavior, teachers motivate students to continue acting respectfully and complying with expectations, fostering a positive classroom culture because they like that prize. They always like rewards. Now is redirect attentions, gently guiding students who are off task or disruptive back to their work through engaging activities, questions, or prompts. For example, a teacher might ask a distracted student a question related to the lesson or provide an interesting task to refocus their attention. This approach minimizes disruptions without confrontation, maintains a positive tone, and encourages students to stay engaged in a respectful manner. Apply consistent consequences. Implementing fair and predictable consequences for repeated disruptive behaviors such as talking out of turn or ignoring instructions. Consequences should be proportionate, clearly explained, and consistently enforced, such as warning followed by loss of privilege. Consistency helps students understand the outcomes of their actions, promotes accountability, and maintains a respectful and orderly classroom environment. Okay, I think that's all for the first part. Let's go to the next part. So the next part is about Mrs. Johnson's and Alex's aggressive behavior. The first one is implement a behavior intervention plan. Mrs. Johnson can collaborate with the school counselor or a behavior specialist to develop a bit tailored to Alex's needs. This plan will identify triggers for aggressive behavior such as flirtations, brain conflicts, or unmet needs, and outline specific interventions such as teaching Alex coping strategies like deep breathing or using designated calm down area in the classroom. And how it helps? A BIP provides a structured approach to address the root causes of Alex's aggressions, offering consistent responses to his behavior and teaching him alternative ways to express his emotions. It also involves data collection to track progress, ensuring interventions are effective. Use restorative practices. Instead of solely relying on sequences, Mrs. Johnson can implement restorative practice such as holding restorative physical circles or one-on-one conferences with Alex after an incident. These sessions will focus on helping Alex understand the impact of his actions on others, encourage empathy, and collaboratively develop solutions to repair harm. And how it helps? Restorative practices shift the focus from punishment to accountability and relationship building, which can reduce Alex's defensiveness and help him feel valued, potentially decreasing aggressive outbursts. Involve family and support system. Mrs. Johnson can schedule regular communication with Alex's parents or guardians to discuss his behavior, share observations, and explore possible external factors like home environment or stressors. She can also involve the school counselor to provide Alex with additional support, such as social emotional learning sessions, and how it helps. Again, engaging Alex's family and support system creates a consistent approach between home and school, addressing underlying issues that might contribute to his aggression and providing him with additional resources to develop self-regulation skills. And the next is Mrs. Smith and off-task behavior. The first solution is to incorporate active learning techniques. Mr. Smith can redesign lessons to include more interactive and hands-on activities, such as group problem-solving tasks, math games, or station-based activities that require movement and collaborations. For example, he could use a math scavenger hunt, where students solve problems posed around the room. How it helps active learning increases student engagement by making lessons more dynamic and appealing, reducing opportunities for daydreaming or distractions like phone use. It also caters to different learning styles, keeping students focused. Implement a token economy system. Mrs. Smith can introduce a token economy where students earn tokens like points or stickers for staying on task, completing work, or participating actively. These tokens can be exchanged for rewards such as extra break time, a homework pass, or just a little small prize. How it helps, this positive reinforcement system motivates students to stay focused by providing tangible incentives for on-task behavior, creating a clear link between effort and reward while fostering a positive classroom environment. Use proximity control and nonverbal cues. Mr. Smith can actively move around the classroom during lessons and use nonverbal cues like gentle tap on the desk, eye contact, or a hand signal to redirect students who are off task, such as chatting or using phones. You can also strategically shift easily distracted students closer to his teaching area. How it helps? From proximity control and nonverbal cues, address of task behavior discreetly without disrupting the lesson. Helping students refocus quickly, this approach minimizes embarrassment and maintains a positive classroom dynamic. And the last problem is with Miss Brown and Jack's disruptive behavior. Teach and practice the replacement behaviors. Miss Brown can explicitly teach Jack alternative behaviors to replace his disruptive actions, such as raising his hand to speak or writing down thoughts instead of making inappropriate comments. She can role-play these behaviors with Jake during a private meeting and reinforce their use with praise or small rewards. How it helps? Teaching replacement behavior gives Jake clear, positive alternative to his disruptive actions, helping him develop self-control and communication skills while reducing disruptions in class. Use a behavior contract. Miss Brown can create a behavior contract with Jake, outlining specific expectations like not talking out of turn, keeping comments appropriate, stay focused, and blah, 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 and consequences for meeting or not meeting these expectations. The contract can include rewards for consistent positive behavior, and Jake should be involved in its creation to increase buy-in. How it helps? A behavior contract provides clear expectations and accountability, empowering empowering Jake to take ownership of his actions. It also establishes a consistent framework for addressing disruptions, reducing their frequency. Implement check-in, check-out system. Miss Brown can assign a trust adult, like it could be herself or school counselor, to check in with Jake at the start of the day to set the goals. Like I will raise my hand before speaking and check out at the end to review his progress. This system includes brief, positive interactions and feedback on his behavior. This concept, the check-in check-out system provides Jakes with regular support and accountability, fostering a sense of connections with a trusted adult. It also helps him reflect on his behavior daily, encouraging incremental improvements. Okay, I think that's all from me for doing my classroom management tasks presentations. Thank you for Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.